see, if I tried to do like that, it would not be good. Yours looks so good.
I'm stumbling all over
Do it
my
again.
words. Hi everybody, you are watching Paint Dry. I'm JD, co-founder and director of Palmetto Paint PC, and you are watching Paint Dry. This is the video series where I sit down with a Bay County local who does something good for our community, and we paint and talk about what they do so I can learn a little bit more. If you don't know about Palmetto Paint, we are a nonprofit that works with other nonprofits to raise money for them through fundraisers and paint classes. This week, I am here with Georgena from the National Alliance on Mental Illness. We are going to call it NAMI for the rest of the class or the rest of the video, because that is a mouthful to say every time.
NAMI works for me.
So, Georgena, do you want to tell us a little bit about NAMI Bay County?
I will. NAMI Bay County has been around since 1974 or 79. It's a national organization, and we've been in Bay County for over 20 years. And NAMI, like you said, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, basically their mission is to assist people who live with mental illness and their family members, provide support and advocacy for, that's like at state, local, national levels. But we do support groups for both. We do education classes, presentations, and basically the bottom line is that when people are diagnosed with a mental illness, one of the common things that people deal with is feeling like they're the only one. Mm-hmm. They feel very alone. Most of us don't know anything about mental illness when it enters our family. And so it can be a scary thing. But yeah, we offer hope for everybody. We want people to know that they're not alone. And we want to just make them feel that having a mental illness is, just like having any other mental illness or any other illness. Mm-hmm. We're trying really hard to end stigma that surrounds mental illness, but we provide hope in classes, and we're about to do a fundraiser with you guys.
Yep.
And we've got, probably about 40 members right now.
Okay.
And becoming a member of NAMI gets you a free lunch once a month at our members luncheon. And it also enables you to go into NAMI.org, the national site, and set up an account and get information sent to you specifically about questions you might have or topics or illnesses. And you get a magazine, a quarterly magazine, and you get on our mailing list and find out all the cool things that are going on and resource information. You have a brochure on everything that you could possibly think of, everything from PTSD to schizophrenia.
Okay.
But, anything that has to do with the brain, any illness that affects the brain.
So y'all cover everything.
We do.
As far as, okay.
We do. And that's why that's why it's so important that people know about NAMI, because if you don't have a mental illness, chances are you know someone who does, because mental illness is actually quite prevalent. It's statistically speaking, 1 in 5, some people say 1 in 4 people has a mental illness, a diagnosable mental illness at any one time. And it's, we just want to make it not seem so scary.
So I just met Georgena about a month ago now, probably.
About a month ago.
Through someone we both know, Sonia Caldwell, who was also part of NAMI, who I would love to have on at some point, but she is always a very busy person.
Yes, she is.
She's actually from the same part of South Carolina as I am. That's how we...
It's wild.
Yeah. She came to one of our classes and wanted me to get in touch with NAMI, and then Georgena and I were on the news together with Alex just a few weeks ago, talking about the fundraiser that's coming up, which we'll talk more about at the end. But yeah, Georgena, how did you get started with NAMI?
Well, about 10 years ago, my oldest son, was diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
Mm-hmm.
And before his diagnosis, we'd gotten to the point where we knew something was going on because he was just doing things that were so out of the ordinary, not just for him, but for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up getting in trouble, some legal trouble, and it was kind of the final straw. And we were like, something is going on. We need to get you to the doctor. And sure enough, he went to see a psychiatrist. He did an 8-hour battery of tests, and they said, yeah, he does have bipolar disorder.
Okay.
And normally, you would be able to probably look back and see a relative somewhere, because people, the doctors and scientists say that there is definitely a genetic factor involved.
Uh-huh.
But we really didn't have any family members who had been diagnosed that we knew of. But it's kind of interesting because, so many years ago, people didn't talk about mental illness at all.
Right.
And so what you might have heard was like, oh yeah, crazy Uncle Ernie at the Christmas party did such and such, and everybody just thought that was probably part of Crazy Ernie's personality, didn't think anything about it. And as it turns out, those are the people that may have actually been struggling with some sort of a mental illness, but we just, they may have not been diagnosed. So once my son was diagnosed, the first thing I wanted to do was learn more. And one of NAMI's signature classes is called Family to Family. And I took that class, and it was life-changing. And it was 12 weeks, 3 hours, once a week for 12
Mm-hmm.
weeks, so a long class. But we learned so much about the illness itself, the neurobiology of the illness, medications, coping techniques for us as caregivers and as parents, how to make things better instead of worse. But I learned so much with that class that I got certified to teach the class.
Okay.
And so I became a teacher and got on the board, and ended up going to a national conference in New Orleans, and just was, oh my gosh, I came back just, on fire, like everybody always says when they go to a conference. But I just finally found out really how big NAMI is, and all the different things that they offer. And I met people who were dealing with the same things I was dealing with as a mom with a child with bipolar disorder. And I realized that support was probably one of the best things that NAMI offered. So I started attending one of their support groups. They have support groups for family members and for those who are living with the mental illness. And you know how it is, just little by little you get more and more and more involved. And I was heading up programs and educational classes. And then the lady that I was kind of working really close with asked me if I would consider being the president. And I said, okay. Not really knowing what all is involved in that.
You never do.
Yeah. I think it's kind of intentional. They don't really fill you in on everything. But so, when you become the president, you learn everything there is to learn about it. And really, my son, and just learning more, it really helped him. One of the things I realized was that people who have a mental illness, they need unconditional love. How I really got involved was just having a family member with mental illness, and then just slowly learning a little bit more, and realizing what a prevalent issue it is. and just decided to stay involved, and it actually led to me going back to school to get my master's degree in social work.
Okay. Stigmatized sort of thing.
Well, I think that a lot of people experience that, and it's a real shame because it just shuts people down. And then instead of getting help or even letting people know what's going on inside of them, they're silent.
Yeah.
And, nobody should have to be silent about something so serious that's going on inside of them. And, that's one of the things that NAMI does too with the support groups that they offer. It's great because the family members have a support group, and you will meet people who are, just starting out learning. They've got a family member who was just diagnosed. And you might have other people who have been dealing with it for 40 or 50 years. And so it's nice just to go and say what's going on, and they go, yep, know exactly how you feel. We did that too. Here's how we handled it. And
a lot of people just need to know that they're not alone in it. I mean,
right.
And that goes for people dealing with the mental illness and then their caretakers.
Exactly. That one person who's working with churches, Lynn Massolino, is working with that. We've got, oh my gosh, we have so many different programs. I mean, if there's a particular group you want to talk to, there's a program for it. Ending the Silence is geared towards middle school and high school aged kids. We've got Sharing Hope, which is geared towards the African American community. We have different programs that are offered in Spanish.
Oh, cool.
And we try to be relevant for everybody, be a resource for everybody, because like we said, I mean, what's funny is like when you go to, for instance, Christmas time, you go to a Christmas function and there's 12 of you in the room. If statistics are that 1 out of every 4 or 5 people has a mental illness, then you can look at that crowd and go, there's 3 of us here, that have some sort of mental illness that we're dealing with. But, so it's, people hide things well and that sort of stuff. But yeah, having a place for all of our stuff is really, really nice.
So where are y'all located now?
320 East 7th Street.
Oh, so y'all are just right over here.
Yep.
Okay, y'all are close.
Yep. And right now we've got a place for our stuff, but we're going to try to clean up a little bit and get ready to start having people there on a regular basis.
Nice. How long have y'all been at the location?
Just a few months, really.
Okay.
And again, the storm and everything else, it was so difficult.
Yeah.
Everything's online right now, but soon we hope to offer our support groups in person. They're online right now. Family members and peers, consumers, whatever name you want to give to the people who are living with the mental illness. But having in-person support groups, in my opinion, is so much better.
Oh, yeah.
And that will also be our programs. We can actually bring them anywhere.
Oh, cool.
And Emerald Coast Behavioral Hospital has been such a huge supporter, and they have been such a huge help. Pretty much anything we need, they've been there for us, and
That's
just
awesome.
kind of making the connection between mental health and NAMI.
Yeah.
And that worked.
That's awesome.
Really well. But yeah, it's an all volunteer organization, so it takes somebody who's got time to devote to it. But we're always, every nonprofit and every volunteer organization is always in need of people.
Always.
But we would love people to get plugged in, even just in one area. Like maybe their passion is, support groups, or maybe their passion is, bringing mental health resources into the church or into the school. And the Ending the Silence program for kids has to do with preventing suicide.
Right.
and ending the silence around mental health and mental health problems and feelings of suicide. So, maybe people are interested in that, but whatever they're interested in, NAMI has a place for them.
So,
Great.
So you said it's all volunteer. It's an entirely volunteer, but okay, very cool.
Yep. Always has been. Sonia said she's going to try to work it out so we can maybe start getting a couple of paid people. Money talks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I did not realize that y'all were all volunteer.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Yeah.
I know what that's like.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And really the only way to do it is to just be passionate about the organization and about the material. And
yeah, I don't think most people know Palmetto Paint makes no money.
how do you survive?
We make enough money doing our private classes and our once a month classes to pay for the space. So I know NAMI does classes. What else do y'all do in the community? I know that's mainly your focus is classes and awareness, but
I really just allowing people or giving people an opportunity to hear about us is a key. We started doing regular presentations over at Emerald Coast Behavioral Hospital.
okay.
And people, community organizations and stuff would call, and I would schedule times to just go talk about NAMI because people just don't know about it.
I didn't know about you guys.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Exactly. So with Emerald Coast, I would go over and meet with some of their units, with adult units, and just say, hey, when you've got care while you're here, but when you go home, you're also going to continue to need care and support.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what NAMI is all about. And we have just started working with Healthy Start because we have moms who deal with postpartum depression and anxiety, and that's another area where you see a lot of stigma. Mm-hmm. Because people are like, "What? How could you possibly be sad? You just had a baby, and this is a great time, and what's wrong with you?" Again, not a whole lot of sympathy. So we're just kind of expanding. We're actually, the most important thing is to get people involved, because the more people we have that are helping us, the more we can reach out and do things for people.
Right.
But we have done. Well, right now we're actually doing the luncheons, which is taking the place of our membership meetings. We're doing, we do a free lunch for anyone who is a member, and those are meant really for fellowship and connection and letting people get back together that are used to seeing each other for years, people who have been involved in NAMI. But we're also, and again, we have to have people to do this, but we want to start going out and bringing presentations to the community. We've got a program called NAMI Provider, which goes into businesses and people who maybe work with people who have mental illness, but they themselves are not necessarily doctors or trained in the health professions. And it just kind of lets them know a little bit more about who they're working with.
Okay.
And that's very, very beneficial. We've got a basics class that is for specifically caregivers of children and young adults, or youth, I guess I should say. But it's providing the resources, providing support. At the national level, they have doctors on staff that are always doing research and trying to find, cures and better medications.
So how much does it cost a family to come to a class?
Everything NAMI does is free.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And
that is also a very unique part of NAMI. And They're the largest grassroots organization in the United States, and
I learned from the website. That's where the logo comes from, is the grassroots.
that
Because I was
is
really
correct.
trying to figure that out when I was drawing it.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
finally
really
stopped. I
look
was like, I have to go
grass.
figure out what this is supposed to be.
Yeah, you did a really great job copying it, by the way. But yeah, everything we do is free, and that's very
That's
unique as
awesome.
well.
Yeah.
And so we don't want anyone to be unable to learn about mental illness. And it just so happens, a lot of people who do have mental illness, they are on disability, so they have a very limited income, and they're marginalized, people who have mental illness, and then on top of that have income restrictions. And so we don't want to do something or provide for people and leave out a huge part of the population that needs education and support. But it really ends up being kind of your extended family. Well, if you don't experience anything else, you never realize that, what you're dealing with is or is not normal.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to get into social work, because I realized that I was such a huge support for my son, and the whole family has been a support for him. And without that encouragement and without that unconditional love, he wouldn't be as far as he is today. And, he still has a lot of struggles, but he's beginning to make some connections between today's decisions and tomorrow's consequences,
Right.
and putting those things together. There's actually part of the brain that is affected. The part of the brain that makes those kinds of complex decisions is affected through these mental illnesses. And so people are like, well, just don't do that anymore. Just stop it.
If only it were that easy.
Exactly. It's like, well,
Yeah.
do you think they want to have
No.
these problems? Let's think about that. But they don't realize it looks on the outside like they could control it because we think of ourselves. We
Right.
only have ourselves to compare it to, and we're like, well, I can make a choice not to do that. Why can't they make a choice not to do that?
Right.
But it's not that easy. Far more complicated.
Isn't it always?
Life, it is complicated. But anyway, being able to be involved in NAMI, it allows me to help a lot more people. There are a lot of people who need support, who need guidance, who need encouragement, and I feel like that's pretty easy for me. So, gosh, if that actually can make a difference for somebody, then I'm gonna go do that.
Well, and as someone who struggles and has struggled all of my adult life and most of my life just with mental illness, I'm glad that there's people like you that can do that and that are willing to do that, and places like NAMI that, even though I just found out about y'all like 3 months ago now, but yeah, I'm very glad that y'all are in our community.
Well, thank you, JD. I hope that we're able to even get more recognition and more well-known when we are working with great people like you guys who, we want you to be recognized for all that you do for the community, and we want people to learn about us. Yeah, so if you, different businesses, it doesn't matter what kind of business, if you know a business that would like us to come out, we've got a 90-minute presentation that we can do that is perfect for like a lunch and learn kind of a activity.
Yeah.
But to teach offices about how to recognize mental illness, what to do about it, how to help people who have mental illness, how to not stigmatize people, how to be a company that supports employees with mental health issues. We want to do things like that. That's probably my favorite thing. I love teaching. I love doing the presentations because I know it makes a difference.
How often do y'all get to do that? Is it just kind of a
Well, you have to be
as
trained.
scheduled thing?
Yeah, you have to be trained to lead it. And we don't have very many people trained right now, so
Okay.
we haven't done any of that kind of thing for quite a while. It's been several months since we've done any kind of a training or teaching like that. But we've also been waiting for people to get more comfortable being in public and being around groups and things, and people are getting a lot better.
Okay.
But for me, you know, I'm going to end up with a master's degree in social work, and I'm still going to volunteer. We've got Peter Snyder, who leads a lot of our yoga classes, trauma-based yoga, and he has his MSW.
Okay.
We've got other people I know in Okaloosa County who have bachelor's degrees in psychology or social work. So, you know, we do have people who have his backgrounds in professional backgrounds in psychology and social work, but that's not a requirement. One of the things that NAMI really, that's really unique for NAMI is that they are about having lived experience. So anyone who leads a class or presentation or support group, anyone who is in a leadership position has lived experience.
Okay.
And we want it to be that way. We don't want it to be clinical where it's just somebody telling you what to do based on what they read out of a book.
Right.
We want peers lead other peers, and family members lead other family members, and it's about sharing that that lived experience that really makes NAMI unique.
Very cool. So to lead one of y'all's classes or something, you get certified through NAMI. You don't necessarily need, you know, a bachelor's in social work or anything like that.
No,
Okay.
not at all. No, it's if you're interested, they do trainings on a regular basis. You know, you just have to kind of keep an eye out and let people know what you want to be trained in. But if you have lived experience as a loved one with illness or as a support giver for that person, if you're interested in facilitating a group, program, whatever, yeah, you can sign up for that training. And they just ask that, you know, if you get the training, then use it. You know,
Right.
lead a NAMI group
That's
at least
cool.
for a few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very, very good. Once you get into it, it's hard to get out of it. You know, I love it. I love it so much.
I like it.
It looks ridiculous. But
No, it doesn't.
yes, it does. But I like it.
I like the like feathery look of everything. That looks nice.
Well, I had to do that, like you said, because, you know, trying to make it perfect.
You won't.
No. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to our fundraiser with you guys, especially because I'm going to follow instructions very carefully, whatever instructions you give me, so that mine looks just like that.
That one's super easy. You do the background. We'll throw the cup on there. I've got a stencil for it, and then the rest is just whatever details you want.
Awesome.
It's not too bad. Yeah, the fundraiser for that is next Friday, December the 10th. It's from 6 to 8, right?
Yep, 6 to 8, and we are going to have snacks and refreshments.
Yep. And there's plenty of seats still available. The ticket link will be up until Thursday. So if you want to sign up, go ahead and sign up. We'll be painting the Joy Cup back here. And I'll put a link to that event in the description as well. At least on Facebook I will. And yeah, that's our last fundraiser of the year, and we are less than $300 away from officially having raised $10,000.
So we need you to come and support
Our goal was to do that. Yeah, our
Palmetto
goal was to
Paint.
do that in 5 years, and we're less than 2 months into our 4th year, and we're really close. So
That's cool.
yeah, so come to that. $5 to reserve your seat, $30 goes to NAMI.
And they have to pay cash?
Yes, cash at the door, please. If you need to do card, let me know. Like, message me beforehand. That way I can get cash out for them, and then I can charge a card and all that stuff. But yeah, cash is just 10 times easier.
Yep. Yeah, I'm hoping that we will have a lot of people come who are just hearing about NAMI or maybe don't even know that much. And maybe even some more people who are now thinking, maybe we should have them come and talk to our office.
Yeah. And I'll also link our interview with WJHG that we did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
just in case this wasn't enough information, because this is probably going to be a 45-minute episode at this point. But yeah, I'll link that as well. I'm
That'd be
assuming
great.
that's still active. I don't know why it wouldn't be. All right. You ready to show them off?
I don't know about putting mine next to yours.
I can hold it way over here. All right, you ready?
Ta-da!
Those came out good. I like it.
Yeah, we're going to put these up on the inside of the NAMI office.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And y'all's office is where one more time?
320 East 7th Street.
Okay.
And we are on Facebook, NAMI Bay County. We also have a website, namibaycounty.org. And hopefully soon, by the first of the year, we will have people actually in the office on a regular basis. So you can stop by and see us too.
Yep. And if you want to find out more about Palmetto Paint, we are on Facebook at Palmetto Paint PC. We are also, all of our stuff on Instagram is under our separate accounts, but it's under the hashtag #EveryCanvasCounts. And you can also go to our website to sign up for classes like the NAMI class that we will be doing next week. It's a Weebly site, so it's super easy to go on, sign up. It's really quick. You just pay $5 online, and then bring the rest in cash when you come to the event. And then a big thank you to MySpace for, number one, our studio space, and two, letting us use our studio space to film. We really appreciate it. So yeah, anything else?
Bye, and hope to see you on December the 10th.
Thank you guys for watching.
Bye.